Hello, Morongo Basin and listeners around the world online at Z107.7fm.com. Here is the Z107.7 local news for Wednesday, September 20th, 2023. A Joshua Tree man entered a plea of not guilty to charges related to child suffering and resisting arrest. Chad Pressman, a 41-year-old Joshua Tree resident, was arrested on Thursday after deputies from the Morongo Basin Station conducted a welfare check on an RV near Cascade Road in the open desert of Joshua Tree. Deputies say they found a 7-year-old boy living in deplorable conditions and that the RV was in disarray with trash, insects, and a non-functioning refrigerator with mold and standing water. They say there were multiple health and safety concerns at the location that were likely to cause great harm or bodily injury to the victim. Pressman was arraigned in San Bernardino County Court yesterday on a felony charge of willfully causing or permitting any child to suffer and a misdemeanor charge of resisting a public officer. He entered a plea of not guilty to both charges. He is expected back in court tomorrow morning in Joshua Tree. The Yucca Valley Planning Commission had a long, complicated meeting discussing home occupations, events in residential areas, and an appeal for a pole sign in Old Town, along with a discussion of code changes for mascots and statues and commercial events in residential areas. Reporter Hillary Sloan joins us with a recap.
The Yucca Room was packed last night as the commissioners discussed a home occupation permit for a meditation and therapeutic retreat at a single-family residential home that is also a short-term vacation rental. The commissioners approved the permit. After a lengthy discussion, the commissioners denied an appeal application to keep a pole sign at the northwest corner of 56809 29 Palms Highway. The cause of the denial came down to a change of business ownership during the time the pole sign had been up. The commissioners unanimously approved the Wine and Rock Shop permit for a 385-square-foot wine tasting bar, a new 514 outdoor seating area, a 6-foot-tall block wall, and 16 stall parking spaces on an adjacent parcel. Another lengthy discussion ensued when the commissioners reviewed the code regulations for mascots and statues. And lastly, the commissioners discussed commercial special events in residential areas. The last two discussions will continue in depth with the suggested specifications at the next meeting. The meeting ended at 10:10. For more information, see this story at Z107.7fm.com. For Z107.7, this is reporter Hillary Sloan.
The Morongo Valley Community Services District Board of Directors will meet tonight at 6 p.m. at Covington Park's multipurpose room. Assignment reporter Gabriel Hart has the meeting's agenda for us today.
For the meeting's agenda, board members will approve the minutes of the last 4 meetings dating back to August 16th, most of them special meetings. Board members will continue discussing their preliminary budget for the 2023-24 fiscal year in a workshop ongoing for the last 3 meetings in hopes to curb last year's $58,303 overage. Also resuming from the last meeting, the board will review and amend the job description for the CSD's general manager. The job description hasn't been updated since 2012, and the CSD are considering hiring a new GM in the very near future. Reporting for Z107.7, this is assignment reporter Gabriel Hart.
Yucca Valley's High Desert Water District Board of Directors meets today at 4 p.m., while Joshua Tree's Joshua Basin Water District's regular meeting begins promptly at 5:30 p.m. Reporter Mike Lipsitz is here with your Wednesday Water Roundup.
At High Desert Water District, the board is expected to approve several resolutions. Among them is a healthy salary increase for the general manager, including a 2.5% merit increase and a 4.6% cost of living adjustment, for a total annual salary of just over $263,000. The public is welcome to attend today's meeting at the district office on the highway at Inca Trail. And down the highway at Joshua Basin Water District, directors will also consider employee compensation and likely approve an all-classification cost of living adjustment of just 3.2%. As always, today's meeting is at the district office on Choita Road in Joshua Tree, where the public is welcome to attend. Instructions for remote attendance of both meetings may be found with this story at Z107.7fm.com. Reporting for Z107.7 News, this is Mike Lipsitz.
Local plant expert and ecologist Christina Sanchez was the guest on last Friday's Z107.7 Up Close show. Host Gary Daigneault asked Sanchez for advice on growing western Joshua trees, both from a gardening and legal standpoint. She said,
They're easy to grow from seed. They're quite easy. Wow. With the current state legislation that just passed for the western Joshua tree, one of the stipulations is you cannot be in possession of a Joshua tree. If you've had seeds that occur before the candidacy period of 2020 when it became a candidate for CISA, California Endangered Species Act protection, if you have seeds prior to 2020, you can grow those. And certainly you want to pay attention where you're going to be growing it, right? So the elevation range could go up to 7,500 feet. I look at the distribution range. I try to mimic the habitat. Now, I wouldn't plant a Joshua tree, say, like in the Coachella Valley. It's just too hot there. Yeah. You know, you really want to focus, when you're focused on biodiversity and supporting biodiversity, you want to focus on growing plants that naturally occur there. I know there's people that want to have the Joshua tree at their home in, like, say, Orange County. Or even though it's a native plant, you know, in California, it's not native to that region.
You can hear the full interview with Sanchez by listening to the Z107.7 Up Close show as a podcast on Z107.7fm.com or wherever you get your podcasts. The Joshua Tree Arts and Ecology Center at Harrison House hosts its first event of the new season tomorrow. Arts and entertainment reporter Charlie Thomas checks out what is going on at the house.
The Joshua Tree Foundation for Arts and Ecology, a residence performance program for gifted artists and thinkers at Lou Harrison House, celebrates the approach of autumn at an open house event on Thursday, September 21st from 12 to 7 p.m. Meet the staff and listen to some music at their Arts and Ecology Center located at 6836 Mount Lassen Avenue, Joshua Tree. Musicians are invited to bring instruments for a jam in the Sunken Circle from 5 to 7 p.m. This is a great opportunity to make a visit, experience home-scale permaculture, and maybe make a new friend. Everyone is welcome and there is no cost to attend. Reporting for Z107.7, this is Arts and Entertainment reporter Charlie Thomas.
A health fair that will provide services and resources to the high desert community free of charge is currently seeking vendors. The Morongo Basin Healthcare District and the City of 29 Palms will be holding their annual health fair on Saturday, October 14th at Freedom Plaza as part of the 29 Palms Farmers Market. Community nonprofit organizations are invited to participate in this event by displaying a vendor booth. There's no charge for vendors, and the event is free, though participating vendors must be healthcare related or provide another important community service or resource. The deadline to submit vendor applications is September 29th. You can find the application at morongobasinhealth.org. And finally, the 29 Palms High School girls varsity tennis team hosted the Yucca Valley High School Trojans yesterday. The Lady Cats won 16-2. Our local high schools faced off last night in volleyball as well. In the junior varsity face-offs, Yucca Valley High School won in 3 sets. In varsity, 29 Palms High School won in 4 sets. That's our local news. Hear local news 7 times a day, 7 days a week at 7, 8, 9, noon, 4, 5, and 6. If you hear news happening, let us know about it. Email us at tips@z1077fm.com. Reporting for the Morongo Basin News Leader, the award-winning Z1077 Local News, I'm Jeff Harmetz.